Mendel Second Law. Mendel's second law is named the law of independent assortment. What does it state? It states that the two alleles which determine a certain trait separate from each other and are distributed in the gametes independently from the other two alleles of the other trait. What does it mean? It means, let's imagine, these are chromosome or alleles, T capital, T capital. And here we have other alleles, which gives the color of the seed. Let's say Y small, Y small. It means what? It means this allele is going to go alone, and this allele is going to go alone. So they will go independently. It means what? What can we see appear from this law? Let's look at this one. Here, if you have tall plant, it is tall plant and has yellow seeds. Now we have two characteristics here. And here we have another one, which is short and has green seed. In F1, all 100% were tall and yellow. So the dominant characteristic appear 100% in F1. If we take one of these and use self-pollination, now we are going to say what will happen here. We will have tall plants with yellow seeds like the male. Let's say this is the male. And we have short plants and green seeds like the female. But here, look, we have other characteristics which are tall and green. Tall like the male, but green seeds like the female. And here we have yellow seeds like the male, which is the dominant, and short like the female. So what causes this? What causes that was that the alleles are distributed independently from each other. It means what? It means they are not linked on the same gene. Or let's see, they are not linked on the same chromosome. Now this is the chromosome which will give us Y capital, for example. This is the chromosome which will give us T capital. And this is the chromosome Y small, and this is the chromosome which is T small. Now, if they separate independently, we are going to have these varieties. But if they were linked on the same chromosome, for example, this is T capital, and on the same chromosome, we will have Y capital. Then they will not be distributed independently like we saw. But in Mendel inheritance, we have the characteristics, and these characteristics are sorted independently. To start working with Mendel's second law, we need to be familiar with formation of gametes. Now, if I have two characteristics, or let's start with one characteristic, T capital, how many gametes? We will have T capital only. This will be the same. So I will say it has only one gamete. If I have T capital, T small, how many gametes here? Two. T capital, gamete, T small, gamete. If I have two alleles or two characteristics at the same time, now we are going to have how many gametes? For example, T capital, Y capital. How many gametes? We are going to cross the first with the first. Now the first with the first, we are going to have T capital, Y capital. The first gamete. The second gamete, the first of the first characteristic with the second of the second characteristic here will be the same. I will not count it. The second with the first will be the same. I will not count it. The second with the second will be the same. So how many gametes here? We can have only one. Let's see here. If it tells me how many gametes can be made of T capital, Y capital, the first with the first will be one, will be the same. So only one gamete here. Question after it says, how many gametes can be made from this genotype? How many gametes can be made from this one? Let's say T capital, T capital, Y capital, Y small. Now, the first with the first will give me T capital, Y capital. This is the first gamete. The first with the second, T capital, Y small. This is the second. The second with the first will be the same like this one. And the second with the second will be the same like this one. So how many gametes can be made from this genotype? They are only two. So how many gametes? It will be two. Let's look at this one. How many gametes can be made from this one? T capital, T small, Y capital, Y small. Now let's cross it. The first with the first, T capital, Y capital. The first with the second, T capital, Y small. The second with the first, T small, Y capital. The second with the second, T small, Y small. So how many gametes can be made? We have 4 gametes will be made from this one. Now let's see here. It says the gamete G capital, T small, G small, T small, result of the genotype. Could it result of this one? No, it cannot. Why? Because this will give me gamete G capital, T small, only. So this is the only gamete from this one. And this one doesn't exist in this genotype. So this is not correct. This one, let's see the second one. The G capital, T small, G small, T small. So it will make 2 gametes, and this is the correct answer. This one cannot be this one because it doesn't have T small. This one will have 4 different gametes, not these 2 only. So the correct answer is this one. Let's see here. There's another one. It says the gamete TR could be resulted from the genotype. Now this one could be resulted from which one? T capital. This one will give me 4. So this one, T capital, R capital, T capital, R small, T small, R capital, T small, R small, can result in 4 gametes. This one, let's say T capital, R small, only. I don't have any other type of gamete. This one, let's see here, T capital, R small, T capital, or T small, R small. This one will give me T capital, R capital. Yes, this should be T. T small, R capital. So let's see here. It says this genotype, this one, could result 50%. From which one? In this one, it will result 25%. In this one, it result 100%. So the first one not correct, the second not correct. Let's see this one, 50 this and 50 this. So this is the correct answer because it exists. This genotype or this gamete can result from this genotype with 50%. This one, no, it doesn't exist at all in this genotype, so not correct. This is the only correct answer, which is number 3. And this is how we deal with these questions. Now, with this idea in mind of how to make gametes, let's look at Mendel's second law and what he did. Mendel, in his second law, he used 2 characteristics. He studied 2 characteristics at the same time. Let's say he took tall plant with yellow seeds. Now, this is the first plant. It has 2 dominant characteristics, tall plant with yellow seeds, and he crossed it with short and has green seeds. These are 2 recessive characteristics. So the genotype of the first one will be T capital, tall plant, with yellow seed, Y small, Y capital, Y capital. And the short, T small, T small, green seeds, Y small, Y small. Now, as we did before, how many gametes can be made? This now the parents. Now, how many gametes can be made of this one? The first with the first, T capital, Y capital. This is the first gamete. The first with the second will be the same. The second with the first will be the same. The second with the second will be the same. So how many gametes can be made? Only one gamete. The same is the case in the female. How many gametes can be made? The first with the first will be T small, Y small. Now this with this one the same. This with this one the same. So only one gamete. Now let's cross them. We cross this one with this one. It will give us T capital, T small, because I will cross them together. It will give me T capital, T small, then Y capital, Y small, and this is going to be 100% tall and yellow, heterozygous. Now this is F1. We got F1. Let's see here. And this one, as I showed you before, tall plant with yellow seeds, short plants with green seeds. What did they give us? They gave us 100% tall and yellow seeds. Now let's look at F2, second failure generation. Now the first one gave us 100% tall and yellow. Let's use this one to find the F2. So let's use this one to find F2. Now this will be the parents again. T capital, which is tall, T capital, T small, Y capital, Y small. And the female will be the same because we are going to use self-pollination. So the female will be T capital, T small, Y capital, Y small. Now, formation of the gametes. How many gametes can be made of this one? The first with the first will be T capital, Y capital. This is the first gamete. The first with the second, T capital, Y small. This is the second gamete. Now let's see here. The second with the first, that's going to be T small, Y capital. Now the second with the second, that's going to be T small, Y small. These are the gametes of the male. And the female will be the same because it is self-pollination. So we are going to use these as the gametes of the male, and we are going to use them the same as the gamete of the female. Now we need to make a Punnett square. But how many columns and how many rows is going to contain? The columns and rows are going to be according to the number of gametes. So here 4 gametes, I'm going to have 4 columns and 4 rows. So how I'm going to do? I'm going to use it to make this. So this is the Punnett square. Is going to contain 4 columns and 4 rows. Now I'm going to place the gametes here. The first one is going to be T capital, Y capital. The second is T capital, Y small, then T small, Y capital, then T small, Y small. This is for the male. And for the female will be the same. T capital, Y capital, T capital, Y small, T small, Y capital, T small, Y small. Now I'm going to cross them. The first one with the first, T capital, T capital. Then the second feature with the second, the allele of the second one with the second, Y capital, Y capital. Now I'm going to do the same for everyone until I fill this completely. Now the first one with the second one is going to be T capital, T capital, and this one with this one is going to be y capital, y small. Now the one after it, let's see, t capital, t small, y capital, y capital. Then the one after it, t capital, t small, y capital, y small. Now let's go to the second row. The first one with the first one here. It's going to be t capital, y capital, y small. And we finish until we fill all the boxes. And we're done. This is how we do it. And we fill all the boxes like these. Now, what's the most important thing is to count now, to find the offspring and the phenotypes and genotypes of the offspring. Now, let's see. How many tall and yellow? This is tall and yellow. 1. Tall and yellow. Tall and yellow. Tall and yellow. Tall and yellow. How do I know it is tall and yellow? I have T capital and Y capital, tall and yellow. This one, tall but not yellow. This is tall and green, so we would not count it here. Let's see here, the one after it, tall and yellow. This is not tall and yellow. This is tall and yellow, tall and yellow. These are not tall and yellow. This is tall and yellow, and there is no more tall and yellow. So how many in the offspring are tall and yellow? Let's count. Here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we are going to have tall and yellow, and that's going to be 9 in the offspring. Now, let's count how many we have tall and green. Here, this is tall and green, and we have this one, tall and green. How many? That's going to be 3. So how many tall and green? 3. Now let's count how many short and yellow. This is short and yellow, short and yellow, short and yellow. So how many short and yellow? Short and yellow is going to be 3. Now the last one here we have, this is, which is what? It is short and green. This is short and green, and it's going to be 1. So in Mendel's second law, what is the ratio we get? We get 9, 3, 3, 1. 9 to 3 to 3 to 1. This is the ratio in second law. Now here, how many phenotypes we have? The phenotypes we have are 4. 1, tall and yellow. 2, tall and green. 3, and this is 4. So how many phenotypes we have? 4. Now these 4 phenotypes will be like this. We have dominant characteristics, they will be 9. Tall, dominant, yellow, dominant will be 9. We have tall, dominant, and green, which is recessive. That's going to be 3. Then the one after it, we have recessive, which is short, and we have yellow, which is dominant, and it's going to be 3. And the last one is recessive and recessive. Recessive is going to be 1. So in F2, we will get this ratio. If we start with pure characteristics, in F2, always we will end up with these results. It is going to be the dominant characteristics 9, the dominant and recessive, and the recessive and dominant are going to be 3, and the recessive and recessive characteristics will be 1. Let's look at some questions to understand how to solve these. The question says crossing tall with pink. Now tall is dominant. I have tall, dominant. Pink is dominant. With another short, which is recessive, and white, recessive. So just without doing anything in F2, I'm going to have 9 tall with pink. I'm going to have 1 short and white. I'm going to have tall and white, and I'm going to have short and pink. These are going to be 3 because they are dominant recessive, recessive dominant. So let's look at the choices. It says 3 tall and pink. Now tall dominant, pink dominant. 3 no, it got to be 9. 1 tall and pink. Tall and pink should be 9. 9 tall and pink, yes, correct. This is the correct answer. So you can do the Punnett square and you can do all these steps to get this result, or you can just do it like this. Let's look at the second question. It is the same, but here we have pink, tall with pink, tall with pink, and here we have short and white. In F2, what is it going to be? We said the dominant has to be 9, dominant recessive dominant got to be 3, and recessive got to be 1. So 3 tall and white, this is dominant, and recessive 3, yes, correct. So this is the correct answer. The rest of the answers will not be correct. 1 tall and pink, no, it should not be. 9 short, no, recessive will not be 9. 9 short, recessive will not give us 9. Let's look at other type of questions which appear in ministry exams. It says crossing 2p plants with the genotype. This is the first and this is the second. Result in F1. Let's do it. If I have this one, the first one, R capital, Y small, Y small. This is the male and this is the female. R small, Y capital. How many gametes I'm going to make out of this? It's going to be 1. R capital, Y small. Can I have any other one? No, because all will be the same. Here I can have 2 gametes. The first with the first is going to be R small, Y capital. And this with this will be the same. So also here I have 1 gamete. Now cross them and let's see what will give us. It's going to give us R capital, R small, Y capital, Y small. This is the offspring. So the first one, 2 Y capital, false. R capital, R small, R capital, R small, Y capital, Y small, yes. So this is the correct answer, number 2. Let's look at this question. It says, it says, which of the following result of crossing these 2? Now, these 2, Y capital, Y small, G capital, and the second one is going to be Y small, G capital, G small. Now, the first one, how many gametes? The first with the first is going to be Y capital, G capital, and the first with the second the same. The second with the first, Y small, G capital. And this will be the same here. Look, if you have 2 same gametes, just delete 1. And see, this is the first gamete. This is the second gamete. Y capital G, Y small G, Y small, G small. Now, let's cross them. What we'll get? The first with the first is going to give us Y capital, Y small, G capital, G small. This is the first one. Now, the first with the second is going to be Y capital, Y small, G capital, G capital. This is the second. Let's see the third. It's going to be now this one. The second with the first is going to be Y small, G capital, G capital. Now the second with the second is going to give us what? It's going to give us Y small, G capital, G small. It says, which of the following will result? Y capital, G capital. Does it exist? Y capital, Y capital? No. No one of these have Y capital, Y capital. No one here is Y capital. So the first one could not be resulted. This one, Y small, Y small. Does anyone have Y small, Y small? Yes. I have Y small, Y small. I have Y small, Y small. But do I have G small in the offspring? No. So this is not going to be right. Let's see here. Y small, Y small. We have Y small, Y small. G capital, G small, G capital, G small. Yes, we have it. So this is the correct answer. So this is the one which will result of these two. The other will not result. Now let's look at this question. It says, crossing A, E, R, R with E, E, R, capital R. Now let's make. It says it will give us the following except. Now let's do it. The gamete here, I have two similar. I will erase one. So how many gametes? I'm going to have this one. This is the second. It's going to be A capital, R capital, the first gamete, and the second gamete A R. This one, the same, two, same allele, so I'm going to erase one. The first with this one, then this with this one is going to be A capital R, then A capital R small. Now let's cross them. The first with the first is going to be 1, is going to be A capital, R capital, R capital. Now the first with the second is going to be A capital, R capital, R small. Now let's see the second with the first. How's it going to be? Always we'll put the capital before the small. So number 3 is going to be A capital, A small, R capital, R capital. Now let's see the second with the second. What is it going to give us? Number 4 is going to be A capital, A small, R capital, R small. So it tells us the following result except what? Now this one, does it exist? Yes, it is here, the first one. So this result. Now the second, does it exist? Yes, it exists. Now this one, does it exist? R small, R small. No one here has R small, R small. So this is the correct answer. This will not be resulted, and this is the correct answer, which is the one which will not be resulted. This one, does it exist? Yes, this is the fourth one. So all of them will be resulted of this cross except this one. And this is how we solve these questions.